welcome back. Yes, it's another Bolocast. It's a Christmas special. It's Slayer time with Gary Holt. It's Slayer time. Hello. Welcome to this special edition of Talking Bollocks. As is usual with the special editions, I don't jabber on like I do at the beginning of a normal Bolocast, because I consider the specials to be special. You people presumably are already listening to the podcast and know what to expect. If this is your first time, if this is the first podcast you've heard and you're just coming here because you've heard that Gary's on it, well, you know, my thoughts on this matter would be that you should go and listen to all of the other podcasts that we've done as well since the beginning of 2013. Yeah. So yeah, it's been what, 2013? No, I did. Yeah. Did all the 2014, did all the 2015. So yeah, started in January 2014. So coming up 2 years ago. So anyway, look, as you can tell, this is the kind of shambolic fucking bollocks that you can get used to listening to. Now you know why it's called Talking Bollocks. Whilst speaking of Talking Bollocks, good old Don Dokken weighing in with his political views on ISIS, saying if he had his way and if he ran the country he'd shut the borders down. Would you really, Don? That's very clever of you. And then just on the same page of the website I was looking at, we had Jeff Tate saying on the terrorist attacks, people that engage in that sort of behaviour should be eliminated. And it's like, yeah, Jeff, that's why everybody fucked you off out of Queensryche, because you can't just fucking say what you mean. You can't just say. I'm saying, you know, I'm what I'm saying is, yes, he said that fuck off clock. Yes, he said that, right? But ultimately, you get what he's getting. You know what he's getting at. But he can't just say, yeah, you should hang him, kill him, whatever. No, it has people that engage in that sort of behaviour should be eliminated. It's like he's constantly trying to prove his intelligence to the world, or at least prove his intelligence. I think that's all of the clocks have gone off now anyway. But I also think it's quite funny that, and look, I don't know what I do about ISIS and all the rest of it, but I do think it's quite interesting that people who go around killing people then saying, well, they should be killed, and it's kind of like it's a weird one, isn't it? It's just a bit weird. But anyway, what else has been going on in the news? A bit about female metal. Doro says she's got some really really heavy and really fast stuff written for her new album. No, you haven't, Doro. No, you haven't. Because what you think is fast, right, is basically mid-pace accept from the mid-80s. So turn it in. It really fucking isn't. And staying on that vibe, I just want to really call out Swiss all-girl heavy metal band Burning Witches for doing the cause of females in metal no good whatsoever. Quite tellingly, the video has no performance footage in it. And it's basically four very good-looking, very, very cliche doesn't do it justice. Fucking joke, I think. Look, is perfect. The video is lots of still photos of them posing, including drinking blood out of a skull. For fuck's sake, really? I mean, it's Switzerland, yeah? Not fucking Mordor. Surely you do look on the internet and see that metal has moved on. But no, there they are, bullet belts, tight leather, lots of tats, lots of skulls. The music is fucking 1988 at best. It's please, Burning Witches, yeah, give it a rest. The name is shit. The new song, Creator of Hell, that shit. Previous song, Metal Demons, that shit. I mean, just fucking turn it in. You've got a fucking awesome female thrash band out there like Nervosa, who are fucking absolutely awesome and pushing the fucking boundaries. And yes, that's right, a fucking female band that I'm well into. And then you've got this shit, which frankly just looks like it was put together by a man. It's basically some heavy metal wank fantasy, courtesy of four dumb sluts from Switzerland. Well, if that's your thing, go for your life. Me, doesn't really do it for me, but there you go. I've also found myself in this strange position of agreeing with Vince Neil over the last month. which is quite rare because hardly anyone ever does. But yeah, great. He just said, look, Kiss have had 5 farewell tours and 4 reunion tours. That's exactly what we don't want to do. But to be fair, Vince, Kiss do actually play all of their songs live, as you know, and I will give credit where credit is due to anybody who deserves it. Yeah, I'm not, you know, I'm not having a go. I'm not going to be. Yes, I hate Kiss, but they play their instruments live, and you boys, well, you struggle, don't you? You really fucking struggle, especially you, Nicky. Pro Tools 6. So just a few things that have been cropping up in the news that have been getting on my fucking nerves that I wanted to get off my chest. So anyway, and if I read another Metallica interview, no matter who it's with, where they say the next album is as long as it takes, and we'll release it when it's ready, and it's like, I can't believe people are still. I mean, it's the obvious question to ask if you're interviewing any member of Metallica at the moment, but the answer is the same from all of them. When it's done, we'll release it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So there you go. No need to read any more Metallica interviews for you. I've sorted that out for you. Anyway, look. I'm not going to jibber jabber on long. I'm going to get straight on down to it. Yep, me, Gary Holt, met up for the first time in years. At the beginning of the interview, I give him an Acid Rain, I'm not in Acid Rain shirt, and on the back it says 2015 reboot tour. I was there, you weren't. So just in case, because you know, I give it to him and he's talking about it, and you don't know what it is, obviously. So there you go. Okay, cool. Let's get on with it, shall we? This is me and Gary catching up just a few weeks ago at the Slayer and Anthrax show.
How you doing?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm really well.
Acid Rain.
Yeah.
What's up?
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
What, about 30 years? No, 25 years?
Over?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was what?
No, it's like
89?
Was that 89 or
That was 89.
85?
No, it was 89.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
no, I'm not.
yeah.
Gary, don't do that to me. I'm not that old.
No, we all are that old.
Yeah.
I heard you guys are back together.
Yes, and
That's fucking awesome.
Dude. Well, back together. It's just me.
Yeah. But you're doing the band though. So
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Cool as fuck.
And that's for you, sir.
Right on. That's so cool. Thanks, man. Nice. I was there. You weren't.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Cool. No worries. It's good to see you. I think the
Yeah.
last time I saw you was Force of Habit recording in London.
Yeah. When we were fucking over there.
Yeah.
What was the name of that street? I'm trying to remember. Kings Road or something.
Yeah. It was some part of London I'd never been to before.
Yeah.
I think Kev and I rocked up and you guys were all.
Yeah, it was a walking distance to Battery Studios, so you know.
Yeah.
Wherever that is, you know.
That was a hell of a night.
I remember there was an Australian pub down the street, and that was our fucking watering hole for like 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, because you were over here for some time doing that, weren't you?
Yeah. Oh, Henry's.
Yeah,
That's the name of the pub.
But I'm sure that's gone. Most of the venues we used to play have gone as well.
Yeah, that was just a bar, you know. I doubt it's still there either, you know. It's like they even like made us our own sweatshirts. It had our names on it. It said Staff Power Drinker because we'd been there so long, and that's where we went every single night, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was killer. It was good times.
Yeah, they were great times. Because you did. Because we did like a bit of UK, and then you were away in Europe. And there was that whole Holy Terror thing when they got
exactly, over in Germany and all that.
Yeah, and then you came back to the UK as well. Yeah, and in between we put a new album out. It was just a really cool time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think I remember
that was back when you could tour Europe in the summer.
Yeah.
You know, because now it's all festivals. You can't do a proper summer tour unless it's a festival tour. You know, like.
Yeah.
And, you know, in that aspect, I've always missed the way it was before the festivals. You could come do a regular headlining tour in the summer. You can't do that now.
Yeah.
The festival competition would kill it. And, you know, the closest you can get to it now is do club shows in between festivals.
Yeah.
You know, but like now, if you're going to tour Europe outside of festivals, you got to do it now. Like we are now, where it's freezing and fucking cold.
Yeah.
And it's not near as much fun, you know?
Yeah, because you don't want to go out and explore and check out some bars and
I
stuff,
haven't seen the sun for a week.
Yeah.
Literally.
Welcome to Europe.
Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah, you've
Freezing
done it
and
enough.
cold all the time. It's like, it is what it is, though.
Yeah.
The shows have been great, though.
Well, I was going to say, everybody on my Facebook is just saying, Slayer are killing it at the moment. It's fucking awesome. I saw you guys in Stuttgart. Would it be on the Big Four show in Germany? I think you were filling in for Jeff at the time.
Yeah.
And that was an awesome show.
Yeah, those were good. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like to do more of those.
Yeah, it's funny. Everyone keeps saying that. Yeah. Well,
Haven't
who knows?
done one in San Francisco.
Yeah, but who knows?
Every time I talk to Kirk, it's the same thing. I'm like, dude, come on. You know how pissed off people are. That fucking New York got one in your own hometown, doesn't it? He goes, I know, dude. But there's politics involved. And shit,
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe never through the never lost them so much money. Maybe the Big Four will be back again.
I'd hope so. At least for San Francisco.
Yeah. Well, the Bay Area. I mean, it's
I know.
it's the spiritual home, isn't it, of the whole thing?
Yeah, Southern California got one, New York got one, and those are the only two in America, and Europe got several.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, is it because that's where the money is? Are people in the US not coming out to shows like they used to? I mean, there's got to be a reason behind it.
I think it's something that there would have been more of them, except for certain politics and things got involved.
Yeah.
And so the brakes got put on it after New York. Which I think it would have been an awesome summer stadium tour myself.
It'd have been amazing. Yeah.
Dallas, Chicago, all that shit would have been phenomenal.
Yeah, and well, as you said, it's stadiums. It's not arenas. It's stadiums.
Stadiums.
Yeah, and how many metal tours are hitting stadiums these days?
None.
Yeah. Well, even U2 are back to arenas and things like that.
Yeah.
It's just
the last stadium metal show was Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, Anthrax at Yankee Stadium. And that was the last one. So
it'd be awesome. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would.
But I mean, you're saying that the shows are going really well, and I was just grabbing a burger before I came here, and I was overhearing some people talking, and the big thing for them was it's the first time I'm seeing Slayer with Gary. Right now, you've been in the band for some time now. Is that
for a few years now?
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Yeah, so. Are you still conscious of there's going to be people out, right? This is like our first tour of the UK with me in the band. So am I?
No,
or are you just
now
like?
That you mention it, it is our first UK tour. I mean, we've done Download, and we've done Bloodstock, and the last time we played London, we did that weird festival, that I'll Be Your Mirror festival, which I think was a mixture of
that
bands
was weird. Yeah.
And that was the last time we played London, the only time I played London with Slayer until tonight.
Yeah.
And we've done, a couple of club shows in in Ireland and stuff. But this is the first tour. So, now that you mention it, it might, be a first look for a lot of people,
Yeah, it is. And it's kind of like, and it was weird because I was overhearing it and I was thinking, well, I've seen you in Slayer, but then again, I was in Germany at the time.
Yeah.
So it is kind of like unless you've been to those two festivals, it's kind of a big thing. But obviously, you've been in the band for a while now.
Yeah. But it is our first as far as Europe goes, it's our first non-festival run tour.
Well, we're back to that whole tour
versus
festivals things again.
But it's the first here. The first dates I ever did, we started in Australia, but then we did the Slayer Megadeth run over here in Europe, but it never came to the UK.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we were pissed about that.
Yeah,
definitely.
Out of my hands.
Yeah. It wasn't your decision.
No.
Cool. And I spoke to Zach because I'm doing a podcast, which is what this is for. And I've been doing until I got the band going recently. I've been doing stand up for the last 15, 16 years.
Right on.
So I've kept my live chops going.
Yeah, you have to.
So now when we play live, it's basically thrash metal and then a bit of stand up, and then thrash metal and a bit of stand up.
So the two go hand in hand, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I've always tried to have a sense of humor about what I do. You know, even at its darkest. You know, it's like, you know, I still have fun on stage. I still smile.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to look like the tough guy. You know.
That's why I was talking to Michael from.
It's fun. It makes me happy. You know, so it's hard for me to like get up there and like try to maintain some grim persona. You know.
Yeah.
Having fun.
Well, I was talking to Michael Gilbert from Flots, and he was saying, you know, the biggest difference between now and back in the day, that's like we enjoy it now. You know, we smile, we enjoy it. Back in the day, it was all like, oh, you know, it's got to be serious.
Gotta smile doing this shit.
Yeah,
might have been a little demonic smile, but it's a smile nonetheless. You know.
Yeah, yeah, and. So I mean, obviously, this is like, you know, this is full-time Slayer.
Pretty much,
yeah. Because it's like when I was talking to Zet, and he was like, look, no, Gary's not filling in for Jeff. Gary's in Slayer. You know, that's he's in Slayer. Exodus is still here as well. When you were doing Blood In, Blood Out, were you kind of conscious of the clash? Could you see a clash further ahead with the touring schedules?
Well, we recorded the album, and you know, it's like, all right, we have this open time here to do it, and so you know, we worked really hard and we got the album done. You know, like, and obviously we had a vocal change, which I was there home for Rob's vocals, and when we made the change, you know, I was in Europe, so they were sending me files back and forth. You know, so.
Right.
You know, so that was the only thing different for me than the way I've done any other Exodus album, was I was listening to tracks from abroad, you know?
Right. So how were you tracking then? Were you tracking and sending your stuff in, or did you already?
No, I was at home, and I did all my tracks at home like I normally would, you know. And had we not made the vocal change, you know, everything was done at home, but then, you know, that pushed things back further, and, you know, so I had the tour scheduled.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was kind of cool though in some ways, because you know there was some stuff like you know, some songs I heard, like especially mainly the two that Lee wrote. You know, I'd never heard any vocals to those. You know, and so I heard them like a fan would.
Oh,
you know,
cool!
For the first time,
yeah.
Lyrically, everything.
Oh, wow!
And so you know, I was hearing something I'd never heard before, and so that was kind of cool. That's never happened in Exodus.
Yeah.
That I heard
Gary
an Exodus
Holt
song.
hearing an Exodus song.
I heard an Exodus song for the first time the same way anybody else buying the record would. You know.
So that's awesome.
It was kind of cool. It made me smile.
Yeah, it would. Maybe Rob's recent comments not make you smile so much.
You know, I understand it doesn't anger me. You know, I have nothing but love for Rob. It wasn't a business decision. It cost us money to like change vocals. We paid two guys to sing on the album. I think the album sales were going to do just what we did regardless. But, you know, I mean, he's angry and he's hurt, and, you know, I'm not going to be hurt by any of the comments made because I still got nothing but love for the guy, you know?
Yeah. And time heals all.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's like, hell, you know, the rest of my band are on tour without me right now. So,
yeah, how dare they?
What's that?
How dare they?
No, I absolutely have. They have my full blessing to continue working. You know, while I'm
absolutely,
you know?
Absolutely.
I don't take a penny.
Yeah,
you know? I know there are other guys in similar situations. They still getting their cut. I don't take nothing. You know, I don't take a penny for merch. Nothing. You guys are working. It's your money.
Yeah. You're putting the shift in. It's your wages.
Yeah, I don't ask for nothing. You know. It's just,
yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, hey, well, it's my band. Where's my piece of the pie? You know, like. I don't ask for a fucking red cent. You know,
there's two.
I haven't earned it. I'm not there. That's the way I look at it. Yeah, some people could say, well, it's your band. You're the leader of the band. You know, the band's name's on the merch. Like, they're the ones playing live to sell that merch. It's their money, not mine.
Well, the thing is, as well, is you know when you do it yourself, you know it's not easy, and they're fucking touring their asses off. You know.
Yeah.
You know. I mean. The UK tour they've announced in February is like, who the fuck plays 12 dates in the UK anymore?
I know.
You know, it's like,
it's gonna
wow.
Be fucking cold.
They're playing places
I'm freezing
I've never
right
heard
now.
of.
I'm freezing my ass off. But I'm a California boy. I can't handle this shit.
Yeah, I know. Well, it was like this when we played with you back in the day. It was like freezing cold winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know because Zet messaged me on Acid Rain's Instagram page. It was like, get hold of me, and I've been trying to get hold of him ever since. Yeah, hopefully we'll play a couple of shows with them while they're over here. Oh man, it would just be such a throwback, you know.
Yeah.
Such a throwback. Do you ever see anything of Rick these days?
What's that?
Do you ever see anything of Rick these days?
Yeah. He comes down when we play Bay Area shows, you know, be it Slayer or Exodus or Bolt together, which, you know, I've done the double duty thing.
Yeah.
He comes down and checks it out, you know, and whenever possible, if it's logistically possible, he gets up and plays a couple songs with us, you know, and, you know, I got nothing, you know, he's my brother, you know.
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
as close to me as my own blood, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I remember you two back in the day. I don't think I've ever seen a couple of guitarists who are so close.
Yeah.
Because normally it's kind of like, you know, we're working together, but you know.
No, he's my brother.
Yeah. You were always thick as thieves, you two.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I always said, like, we always did our best solos on the same song because we'd inspire each other.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, all right, that solo's killer, this one's killer, but look at this one song where we both just shine, you know, because, you know, one would do something and the other would, like, be inspired. It wasn't a challenge. It was all about, like, just, you know, musical love, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like, wow, you've done that, right, you're going to push me, right. Yeah, absolutely. But that's chemistry, isn't it? You can't force it. It's
No, you can't force it. And, you know,
It's-
I'm lucky that I have the same thing with Lee, you know, in Exodus, and even with Carrie now, you know, it's like, you know, and we have some great shows together, and, like, if one of us is feeling a little under the weather or something, the other one will pick it up and pick up the slack, you know?
Yeah. And what's when you were putting your solos down on Repentless, is there a great deal of difference to the way you'd approach a solo than you would with Exodus? I mean, obviously there's a big difference because with Exodus you've most likely written the tune. You may have had something in mind all along. Whereas...
Yeah. There's that, you know. I mean, when I did the solos for Repentless, I wasn't, like, consciously thinking about playing like anybody other than myself. You know, I might have, like, left some solos a little scrappier than I normally would, you know, because I thought it fit Slayer a little more if I'm not being too overly clean and melodic and stuff like that, you know. But I've always I've been good at chaos too, you know. I can do good 6-string chaos as well as, like, you know, melody, you know. And so, you know, I just went in and left them kind of raw, you know.
Yeah.
Rather than, like, overly refine them.
Yeah. Did you do them all in a day?
I'm sorry?
Did you do them all in a day?
All in a day, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But, you know, Slayer soul, see, you know, I said that and people are, like, either saying, wow, that's amazing, or, man, he must have really not gave a shit. Slayer solos are...
Yeah, that's people who don't get
Slayer
music.
solos
right?
are shorter than Exodus solos, all right?
Yeah.
You know, some of my Exodus solos, you take one lead and it's as long, if you added them up, as all the solos on the album from Slayer combined. You know, it doesn't take long to do, like, you know, it might technically be one solo, but it also might be fucking 10 seconds long, you know?
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, it's almost more like a lead break, you know?
And
some of the Exodus solos are long, and they're, you know, there's always the occasional epic one, you know, where I do my annual rip-off Richie Blackmore as hard as I can bit. And, you know, they're, you know, fucking, they go around for a ways, you know.
Yeah. But
so those take a lot more time, you know.
But it's catching the vibe as well, isn't it? As long as
like Repentless, you know? I do 2 solos on Repentless, but we're trading off leads. They're like little lead breaks. They're short, you know. Like, you know, I've got open lead breaks that long on Exodus records, you know, before the drums kick in and the solo actually starts, you know. So yeah, those take longer, but, you know, it went by fast, you know.
So had you played with Paul before?
Well, in Exodus, you know, he did one album.
Of course, yeah. Sorry, I completely forgot. Yeah.
So there's this, like, incestuous cross-band relationship thing going, you know, like, you know, it's like kind of 6 degrees of separation, you know. Like,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but that's really cool. I mean, that's, you know, like you say, it's incestuous because there's that kind of, you know, it's the thrash metal family, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, he played for many years in Slayer. He played for, you know, a couple in Exodus, you know, and and you know, he's supported Exodus in States as a drummer for Forbidden. And we played together with Exodus while he was in Testament. And,
we were like, I hung out with him a bit when he was in Forbidden. They came over here a couple of times, and I hung out with him then. When he was playing with a broken arm. So they toured Europe.
That was either right after or right before the U.S. tour they did with us, because he had the broken arm then as well.
Yeah,
I think he broke it over here.
Yeah,
and after that was the U.S. tour, and he played the whole show one-handed, basically. You know. Whole tour, I mean, not show.
Whole tour.
That's fucking metal.
Totally. Wouldn't happen now.
Yeah, that's metal as fuck.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen now. It'd be like so-and-so's had to stand down and so-and-so's stepping in. You know, it's like now.
I'm doing the show. I'm doing the tour.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm doing both.
Yeah, broke my arm. We better get somebody else in. No fucking way.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, and he used to show it off as well. I remember it was like, you know, he'd be up there with his cast.
Might as well, you know.
Yeah.
People wonder why the drum fills are so simplistic. You know, you better show them why. You know. Cast on this one, so you're hearing a lot of single drum hits.
Yeah, it's a lot of single drum and even more feet than usual.
Yeah.
You mentioned Richie Blackmore there. So have you seen the new lineup? Are you?
I'm hoping Slayer gets booked on one of those festivals.
Yeah.
Because Carrie and I both want to see it really bad.
It's kind of weird. It just came from absolutely nowhere, didn't it?
Yeah, you know, I guess he wanted to rock a little bit, you know. I mean, I've seen Blackmore's night live, and it was spectacular. It was finest display of guitar playing I've ever seen from him. Was him just playing acoustic all night. You know, it was awesome.
Wow. Was that the best live performance of another guitarist that you've seen?
I'm sorry?
Is that the best kind of?
It was one of the greatest I'd ever seen. It was phenomenal.
Where'd you see that?
San Francisco.
Right. That must have been a while ago.
Several years ago,
yeah.
About 7-8 years ago, something like that.
Cool. So, what are the plans as regards? Because there's two massive touring cycles for Exodus and for Slayer. Then is there one big fat Gary Holt holiday at the end of that?
There's never a Gary Holt holiday. I bought a house a month ago and it's sitting vacant. There's probably squatters in it, you know. My wife's been at home packing, and I told her, just pack up your own things. My shit'll go quick. I'm getting a dumpster when I get home. I'm throwing a lot of crap away. I own a lot of crap that I'm taking. You know, it's like, but yeah. You know, it's like I could have moved into that house like before I left for this tour, and it's sitting there completely vacant. There's probably crackheads inside there. I don't know. It's a nice neighborhood, so hopefully no crackheads. But you know, maybe some teenage kids are getting drunk in my house at night.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Spray painting on the walls and shit, you know.
Yeah, well, as long as it's like,
I'll kill some motherfuckers.
As long as it's pentagrams.
I'll kill some motherfuckers, because that's exactly what I would have done when I was 17.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I had no respect, you know.
So how does she feel about you never being home then?
I'm sorry?
How does she feel about you never being home then?
Well, you know, I had her out here on this tour for 2.5 weeks. So,
oh, right.
You know,
Okay, cool,
I took a 7-week tour and broke it down into 2 smaller ones.
Right.
With some time spent. You know, it's hard. You know, I got 3 children too. You know, and they, you know, it's kind of hard to like make time at home where it needs. So you know, when I'm home though, you know, my attention's all focused on my family. You know.
Yeah, of course. So does that mean that you know, writing and inspiration and things like that, is that something that you just kind of...
Right now I'm inspired by these drums turned into stools
and coffee
tables.
Really cool, isn't it?
Before this interview I already taken photos of the construction, because you know, I'm turning my garage into like the ultimate man cave, and I'm like, God, these would be great.
Yeah, they would, wouldn't they?
And go on Craigslist and find some beat up, fucked up old drums, you know, and turn them into like coffee tables like this guy right here, or some...
Yeah, it's also beautifully mirrored, isn't it? And they've kind of got the whole sort of ship vibe going.
I like the shelf made out of the road case lid. You know, that too. You know?
That's awesome. I saw a Marshall lunchbox today.
Yeah.
Which was just blew me away.
You know, the thing that sucks is I just gave away some like really massive road cases that were kind of beat up and fucked up, and now I'm thinking, man, I could have made those lids into some great shelves.
Yeah, or you could make some nice wardrobes, just
I would have cut them into pieces like that and put them around the walls. It would have been awesome, but I gave them away. Take them.
Just two old guys talking about DIY.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's right now, I'm counting the days I get home so I can actually move into the fucking house I own and haven't moved a single fucking box into.
Yeah. So and she's going to be living in there, all settled down, and it's going to be.
Yeah. Well, I got 2.5 months at home after this tour, so I'll be able to nest, which would be good,
Yeah. And is the man cave going to be part man cave, part studio?
Yeah. I'm going to build a studio in it. I'm going to build full Pro Tools rig and be able to record my shit, right in my own.
So that's where
garage.
the next Exodus album is going to be recorded then.
Yeah. We always record on our own anyway. We did the last one with Tom Honey lives out on a goat ranch, So.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, we don't do studios. We do studios for drums because you need much more equipment, many more inputs and mics and just the hardware you need, the stands, the proper booms for the room mics, But we do everything for the last several albums. We do it all on our own.
Mr. Sneap has told me all about recording with Exodus.
Yeah, well, if we could put electricity in a cave, we'll record an album in a cave. We don't care.
Yeah.
Why spend all the money on a studio time when you could do the whole record on a laptop anyway?
Yeah. No, he spoke very, very highly of working with you guys. Cause
I just saw him the other night. He's my homeboy,
Yeah. No, because we kind of grew up together on the UK scene,
the old Sabbath days.
Yeah. Well, we were we were guests, surprise guests at Andy's 18th birthday party.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then we went and played with Death Angel the following day in the Astoria.
Kick ass.
But we all turned up, big surprise.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. We often remind me. I've got some really embarrassing photos from back in the day.
That's so killer.
But okay, get in the sign. So we'll wind up. Look, Gary, it's been awesome to see you again.
Thank you. Good to see you again.
Yeah, and you. Thanks for talking bollocks.
Up. It's freezing.
Yeah. Well, you've got an extra shirt to wear.
Get my hands working here.
Yeah. Get warmed up. Anyway, thank you. And that was that. Only a brief chat, but awesome nonetheless. Big thanks to Cosa Nostra PR, Michelle there, who sorted that out. Now, funnily enough, somebody mentioned something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it inspired me to tell you the story behind this interview, right? I started working on that when I was at Bloodstock in August with Reanimator. And I bumped into Michelle from Cosa Nostra, who does the Bloodstock PR. And the dates were already out. And I said, look, I'd really love to get a chance to sit down with Gary and have a chat. And even on the day, it was still in the balance as to whether it was going to happen. So for all of you, and no guest list or anything like that, I bought a ticket like everybody else. But I got they sneaked me in there, and I managed to grab half an hour, and that was awesome. But just to give you an idea, things do not just drop in your lap. You have to go looking for them. In a tweet, somebody called me friend to the stars or whatever. That's not the case, guys. I know a few people, but even if you know them, that doesn't always mean a great deal. Because a huge organisation like Slayer, it's a worldwide organisation that frankly gives zero fucks about me and my podcast, and quite rightly. I know my place in the food chain, so that is that just a little bit of an idea as to sometimes how these things come together, and but invariably it is chasing, it is working, it is just using my time when I bump into people to the very best of my ability. So moving on. Coming up now is the interview that I did a few days ago, just prior to our Nottingham show with Lawnmower Death, with the legendary Stilly Paps. Now, Stilly has been crewing for the last 26 years. He started out with Acid Rain, and he has been with everybody since, from Skunk Anansie and Feeder and the Stereophonics, all the way across to Carcass, Pitchshifter, Cathedral. What else did he do? He worked with Gene Hoglan for years. And so yeah, I mean, so he worked Death, he worked Strapping Young Lad, so done all sorts of stuff. Anyway, what's the point in me going on about this? Here is a real behind the scenes look. As I said I was going to do this year, I wanted to get more people in from around the industry, and I thought this would be like the ultimate, really. So you never hear from the road crew, but you do on this episode of Talking Bollocks. This is Stilly Paps having a chat at Talking Bollocks Towers. You try fucking saying that. Stop laughing and try and say it. Having a chat at Talking Bollocks Towers a couple of days ago. Here it is. Hello once again. You find me yet again in my front room with yet another legend of the music industry. Ladies and gentlemen, Stilly Paps is with me today.
Good evening.
Good evening. Now, the thing is that I'll have obviously written an intro for this podcast, so people will know who you are.
Okay.
When they dip into this interview, so we're going to kind of like just carry on.
Okay.
So anyway, I did say at the beginning of this year, we were recording this the night before the Acid Rain Lawnmower Death show in Nottingham Rock City. We're doing it on the Friday night. Which is December the 10th, I do believe. And we're going to head up to Nottingham tomorrow to do the show, and then that's the end of the year for us all. Stilly flies back to Germany, where he lives, and I go back up north as well. Anyway, that's our Christmas is planned. So that's when we're recording it. And I did say at the beginning of the year that, I was a bit of a tangent on it, that I wanted to kind of expand the borders of the podcast and try and get as much of a rounded view of people who work in the industry, not just people in bands. And we had Andrew O'Neill, who's a friend of mine and is also a very successful heavy metal comedian. We've had writers on, we've had authors on, we've had all sorts. And so I thought we should.
So you start from the bottom up.
Sorry?
You thought you'd start from the bottom up.
Start from the bottom up, exactly. And then, and we've done bands. The pinnacle really is the crew. That's all anyone's really interested in. So now I did want to start by, I don't know if I might not put this in the intro, but first up, let's go through who you've worked with over the years, because it's a really varied, interesting mix. So let's go all the way back to who's the first band? Who's the first band that you crewed for who gave you your leg up into the industry and that you owe your entire life to?
Oh, I can't remember that far back.
I'll give you a clue. You're wearing a T-shirt of theirs right now that I fucking gave you.
It is the What can I say?
Go on, say it.
I was trying to think of a word to go before the band name. The Magnificent Acid Rain. Yeah, that's how I started.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Because we usually get, for some reason, we get the Mighty a lot. We get the Mighty Acid Rain. I don't know why. That's cropped up a few times, but I'll take Magnificent. Thank you very much.
It's all I could put together at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I've told the listeners before about the story about when Gaz left at the end of the Nuclear Assault tour, and he gave you a note, and I was looking down the staircase and I saw it happen. Do you remember? Because I saw him give you something and then walk off, and I saw you come running up the stairs, and I was looking down because I thought something was going on.
He took me all the way out to the bus.
Something just didn't feel right. Yeah. And then you got the note, and I stopped you and said, "What's going on? What's that?" He said, "Gaz has given me a note." I said, "Well, what does it say?" And he said, "Give it to Jem." So I'm going to give it to Jem. I was like, okay. So off we went and gave it to Jem, and he read it out that yada yada yada. Water under the bridge. That he wasn't coming. And Jem just looked at you and goes, and we just looked at all of us and went, "You know what this means, don't you?" And we were thinking, "Fucking hell, what?"
End of the tour.
No, he goes, "Yeah, it means you've got a bunk." Stilly was looking like it was dodgy whether he was going to be able to come on the rest of the tour with us.
Well, I shouldn't have been there anyway, really. So
yeah, We forgot to mention that we were bringing crew.
But you had my kit.
Yeah,
No,
we borrowed your kit exclusively, I do believe.
And you still do now.
Luckily for you. Well, yeah, we are borrowing your snare drum for these live dates. Yes, we are. Thank you very much.
But yeah, that's how I started, and it's been a long road, but
Yeah, it has, hasn't it?
It's,
So I mean, yeah, but where did you go? Because you did Acid Rain, you did Reanimator, you did. You did a few old school thrash bands in your time, haven't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, through working with you, obviously, you get to, you become friends with the bands you toured with, and luckily for me, you toured with American bands who come over again on their next album, and back then they couldn't, they didn't have touring crew. You have touring crew for your own country, but then if you fly abroad, you can't afford to take your whole crew, so you might take one or two, but you always need guitar techs or drum techs or whatever. So I got to know Gene, Dark Angel. He came over, didn't have a drum tech, wanted me to do it, so I did everything with Gene from then onwards. Death, strapping young lad,
I didn't realise you did strapping.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, not everything, but towards the end of not towards the end of my sort of metal years, but yeah, I did most of the stuff with you.
Yeah, because it's weird, isn't it? Because you've like a band, you've gone through various periods, haven't you?
Well,
it's like you went through your thrash times, you went through your metal times, and you kind of like in your sort of chilled out Stereophonics years now, aren't you?
Well, that's it.
It's next stop Scrap Heap.
Well, no, next stop Acid Rain again.
Touche. Touche.
Gone round in a big circle, 26 years or something.
Yeah.
But no, because you work with, say, a metal band that you don't know anybody else on the crew. It's been a phone call from somebody. Can you do this? So you say yes. So you meet all these new people, and then obviously you keep in contact with them people, and they know other people and other bands, and so you go through different genres of music with bands that you work for. And,
Well, it's like a mate of mine was bass tech for Billy Sheehan for about 5 years, and now he's bass tech for Go West, the 80s pop band.
You just get offered a gig, and obviously you take it unless you're not doing anything else, and it goes from there. It's just another branch, and you get phone calls from different people you've never heard of. Oh, we need a drum tech for whoever, and you say yes because you need the work.
Yeah. Well, it is because you're a freelancer basically.
Yeah.
And
you get there's no. Well, I don't know of a company that I could work for that would constantly keep me employed. So
there's no sort of agents for what you do.
Not really, no. There's production companies that will have your name on their books and stuff, but you still got to do it yourself. You still got to look.
That's a really good point, actually. I had never thought of that. There is no sort of agencies out there, is there? Which is kind of it's kind of weird, really.
It's still all word of mouth. Oh, I know this guy.
Yeah. Well, I suppose that is that's really cool. We've managed to identify something about the old music business that still exists today. Yeah, which is that's been unaffected. It's still word of mouth, and it's not. It's who you know, and
exactly. Yeah, I mean,
being available and all the rest of it.
You can find out more about people and what they've done. Obviously, going on the internet, and there's Crew Space and all these websites and stuff, and you can have the picture up there and kind of a CV that you can read. But it's still basically you get a phone call or you'll get an email. So and so's given me your email address.
Right.
Are you available to do a Take That tour or Stereophonics tour or whoever,
Yeah.
So,
Did you do a Take That tour?
No.
Good.
But I probably would,
I'm sure you would, yeah. So what did you do? What did you do after Gene then and Strapping?
Well, at that point,
because I remember you doing
a lot of Carcass, a lot of Cathedral. Because I got in touch, in contact with all, with Dig basically at Hero Records. You know, and he was putting on Gods of Grind tour. It's like a 4-band package: Carcass, Cathedral, Entombed, Confessor. You know, and he needed a crew for that, so I was available, and then I got to meet all these other bands. So of course, I kept with Carcass, I kept with Cathedral. They did tours with Napalm Death. I did stuff with Napalm Death. So then I was in with all the death metal kind of bands. So I did loads of years with all them. Entombed, did lots with Entombed.
Do you do stuff with it? I keep wanting to say Malevolent Creation or Meshuggah or a band who ask you to manage them.
No, I was doing Morgoth, German band.
Yes.
German death metal band.
Are they still going?
Yeah.
I thought so.
I think left just recently. But yeah, they sort of disappeared and then came back again. But yeah, at the time they were wanting to, I don't know if they were doing their own record label or Century Media was just starting, and Carson, the guitarist, was part of Century Media, and he kind of wanted me to be the British distributor kind of thing. Basically, he wanted to send me boxes of Century Media CDs, you know, all the bands, and post them out, you know, mail order from my house. So that was kind of, it didn't happen, but yeah, he was part of Century Media and their distribution, and obviously a guitarist in the band, and we were just chatting about me maybe becoming their mail order distributor or whatever you want to call it.
Right. Just
because I was their drum tech at the time.
You must have made a very good impression.
I don't know. We got along. Did a few tours with them. They were great.
So what did you go on to do after that? Because, like you said, you were doing a lot of death bands. So you go through your death metal. You go through your death metal phase.
Well, it's
what happened?
Well, it's not really metal, but a lot of people liked them. A lot of people who like metal still like them. Skunk Anansie.
Oh right, yeah. Well, they're back, aren't they?
Well, yeah, they never really disappeared. You know.
Have you heard from Mark at all? Because I know you work for Skunk quite a lot.
Tour in February, so.
So you did loads of US touring with them as well, didn't you? And so you toured with who are the bands you toured with in the States?
What, with Skunk?
Yeah.
They supported Henry Rollins over there, which was weird, but good tour, you know. We did a Rammstein tour, an early Rammstein tour. They were big-ish, they were playing like shed type venues, big sheds, but nothing like Madison Square Garden, sort of that thing we watched the other week. But yeah, it was a weird tour. Obviously Skunk Anansie, but it was Rammstein headlining, Soulfly were on as well, and Stained.
Yeah.
And Skunk Anansie was the opener. It's like a 4-band bill. So.
Right.
But yeah, they did their own tours out there. Nothing big really, but you know, they were, obviously at that time they were huge in Europe. So. Is that where?
So were you coming out of your sort of? So you went from death metal to
Skunk Anansie.
Yeah. Was that just Mark getting in touch? Just Mark Richardson. Mark Richardson, the drummer of Skunk Anansie, Stilly had worked with before because he was the drummer in Feeder, but he'd also worked with him before. Knew him.
He was in Feeder after Skunk Anansie.
Ah, right, yeah, and then in Skunk Anansie again.
Yeah.
But he was in Little Angels, yeah, which comes all the way back to like the 7 Degrees of Acid Rain.
Yeah.
Everything comes back to Acid Rain.
That was a call from
because Little Angels shared same management as Acid Rain.
That's right.
Did you work with
Little Angels?
Yeah.
No.
So how knew Mark hook up?
I got a phone call from a guy called Sean Brady.
Sure. I'm on Facebook with Sean. I remember Sean.
Tech. He's working. Same as me. He works for loads of bands.
Sean from Bradford.
From Birmingham. Oh,
right.
You're thinking of Sean McCarthy.
Yes, I am. Sean McCarthy, as in...
Yeah. You work for the
Humanoia Recordings.
Yes. But anyway, I was at
Sorry.
the Duchess of York in Leeds
Yeah.
watching a band. Can't remember which band. Yes, who was it? Honey Crack. Do you remember them?
No.
Anyway, it's kind of a Wild Hearts kind of thing. Anyway, because I knew the sound engineer, went to the gig, and Sean was the guitar tech. And after the gig, we were having a beer, and Sean said, "Oh, I'm working with Skunk Anansie. They're looking for a drum tech." So basically, got in contact through him. I got the gig, and was with them for years, 8 years.
Fucking hell, really? Was it that
Something
long?
like that, yeah.
Because I know I came to see you a few times when you were working for Skunk at Brixton.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, yeah.
Astoria.
I was going to say the Astoria. And I remember the Astoria.
We were always in the Astoria.
You and I sat side stage watching Muse, smoking weed, talking about how crap Muse were. You were like, they're on. You just go, oh, they're on Madonna's label. I don't get it. And I tell you what, Stilly, I fucking still don't get it to this day. It's just
Yeah.
heavy metal Coldplay.
Well,
Fuck
they
off.
supported-
Student music. No, thank you.
They supported Skunk.
Oh, they're really good live.
Around the
Oh,
UK.
fuck off.
It was like one of their first tours. You know, so yeah.
Oh yeah, because I.
Never got to work with Muse, but did get a phone call. Did get an offer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just to cover for somebody for a few gigs or something. But yeah, it's weird how things come and go, isn't it?
Yeah. So Skunk was still metal, but it you obviously moved on from your death metal
Well,
years.
while I was doing Skunk, I was doing something totally not metal. I was doing Aswad. A few metal listeners who don't know who Aswad are, they're a reggae band.
Yeah.
But yeah, a famous reggae band. They're probably one of the biggest British reggae bands going. Probably.
Yeah, definitely.
But that was good as well. That was great. Had some good times with them. Took me to Hawaii for a few days.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Getting crystal meth. Apparently, that's what Hawaii's really good for.
Oh, well.
Yeah, surfing and crystal meth.
But so yeah, after Skunk Anansie, probably Stereophonics, among others, you know. But yeah, next year will be my 15th year with Stereophonics.
Bloody hell! Wow.
So,
Jesus.
yeah. But
That sounds like quite a sentence.
But you know, still will work with anybody, you know.
Well, yeah, all right. Thank you very much. Yeah, cheers. Cheers. Thanks for the compliment. Yeah, I'll work with anyone. All right, cheers. Nice one.
But I was in Rock City the other week
No, were you there? You were there with.
with the Stereophonics.
Yeah. Well, funnily enough, I was sent a picture by a square dancer via Facebook. Thank you. I can't remember your name, but they sent in a picture. They said I'm at the Stereophonics gig. I think it was Nottingham, but they didn't say where. It looked like quite a small gig.
Yeah.
And they said the roadie's wearing your T-shirt, and they'd sent a picture, and it was you wearing.
Yeah, it was probably.
I sent a message back saying, "Now that'll be the legend that is Stilly Paps."
Yeah, it was probably Rock City. But yeah, there was a lot of comments about your T-shirts, mate.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. And of course, you are also brother of Kevin Papworth, or Kev, as he was known to Acid Rain fans.
Yeah.
Former lead guitarist and chief dungaree wearer. Yeah, you've kind of like you've kind of crossed paths over the years, but not
recently.
No, yeah, not for a good few years. Did you work? Am I inventing this? Have you worked with Slipknot?
No, I haven't worked with Slipknot.
So I am inventing that then.
I
don't know why I thought that.
I've worked with Stone Sour.
Really?
Yeah, I filled in. Well, it was like a 3-week European tour.
Oh, right.
The drum tech was getting married and going on honeymoon, and because I know Shirt, the sound engineer, who I think you've met a few times.
Yeah, I know Shirt.
So yeah, I got an offer for that. Met Joey, the drummer of Slipknot, a few times. But,
Now that's interesting. Like crowbar acid raining at every fucking available opportunity. Again? I might have made this up. Did we have a conversation at some point about you meeting Joey Jordison and a certain band being brought up in conversation?
Yeah.
Can you just please remind me and the listeners, right? Because they haven't heard this story before. Not from you, right? They've heard it from me.
Well,
so you were there.
Apparently.
Oh, hang on. Already you've started with apparently distancing yourself from your own story.
He did tell me.
He did?
Yeah.
And who's he?
Joey.
Joey who?
Jordison.
Right, okay. The then Slipknot drummer. Joey Jordison. He said
that they used to listen to a certain band in their dressing room before they went on stage. That band being the almighty Acid Rain.
Fucking hell.
That's true. That's what he told me.
He must have been thinking of a different Acid Rain.
He told me that in Japan. That's why.
Oh, does that somehow mean it's like
no,
definitely...
Because I was in Japan and I met him there, and
right.
So it's kind of a memory, a good memory.
Wow.
But yeah, that's what he told me.
Wow. How are we not playing any gigs with them?
Well, he's not in the band anymore.
Well, yeah, but the rest of them apparently. He said they. I presume he meant the band, or is it just him?
I've toured with the Stone Sour. Sort of spoke with Corey quite a bit. So, and he remembers you, and we chatted about you and stuff. So.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
You see,
I mean,
I've never heard this before, but hang on. Yeah, but for people listening, what they and you don't realise is I didn't know that.
Yeah, well,
fucking hell.
That's what you got to think. They're all our age. They've all. I mean, I know they're from America and blah blah blah, but back then, with the tape trading and all that, people knew all these bands. They weren't necessarily big fans of it. I'm going to try and
get Corey Taylor on the show then.
You should. Yeah.
Right. I'm going to find out how to contact the motherfucker.
You should.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm going to start with Twitter.
Chatting with loads of people just these last few weeks. Loads of people remember you. I was
weird
at that gig in Royal Court, Royal Court in Liverpool.
That's cool. But anyway, look, this isn't an Acid Rain podcast. I've managed to hijack it. Very successfully, I might add. But we were just talking about how, you sort of, 1 minute, well, not 1 minute, but over the years that you've done, like you came in through the metal door. The thrash metal door with us, then you went a bit heavier, death, grind, stuff like that, and then you sort of, but you did 8 years for Skunk, and you've done 15 for Stereophonics. It's like, so you've been away from the metal scene for quite some time.
Well, yeah, but you got to remember, because I say 15 years, it's not 15 years, 12 months every year for 15 years. Because obviously the band have a break and then they've got to record other albums, so I'm not working with them. So if I get a phone call from somebody else, I'll go and do it.
Is that how Billy Talent came about? Because you've been with we've forgotten to mention them.
Billy Talent, been with them since 2007, I think. So yeah. Because sometimes if you're working with a band, especially a known band, because they'll release an album, then they'll have a kind of a set schedule. They're going to be touring in America, and then they'll do Europe, and, basically world tour. So if you get a phone call, you've got to think: do I take this, or shall I wait? Because I know Stereophonics are coming out with an album, so that'll be a good bunch of work.
So you got to juggle it, basically.
Yeah, and things clash, so you got to pick and choose. And
what people won't appreciate listening as well is that what you mean is it's a really fine art as well, because it's like you can be offered a tour that is there. It's a solid offer, and you know that, but you know something else is coming along that could be even bigger. You know that an act you're working with has got an album coming. They'll be touring for years, but if you turn that offer down, anything can happen on the other end.
Yeah,
you know the album can get delayed.
Well,
you know, somebody, a band member finds out his wife's pregnant again or whatever.
You never know you're on tour until you're on the tour bus.
Don't believe it till you're on the bus, as we used to say in Acid Rain.
But that's not always the case either.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a few kind of stories. I got offered some work with Venom.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few European festivals. I think it was 2 gigs, and we're going to be away for 4 days or something. Do you want to work? Of course I do. Of course I want to work with them. So, I was on the phone to the tour manager, blah blah blah, because they're coming down from Newcastle to where I was with my parents. They'll pick me up on the tour bus, and we'll go down to Dover, blah blah blah. Go and do the gigs. Great. Morning of when I'm supposed to be picked up. Didn't arrive at whatever time it was supposed to be, midday or whatever. Got to 1 o'clock. Not arrived, no phone calls, nothing. 2 o'clock, I got a phone call. The band have cancelled, we're not doing it. Okay. Great, there goes my Venom gig down the drain.
Okay, now.
But yeah, anything can happen, so...
Yeah. Well, when you said, you were talking earlier about, if an offer comes up, I love it. By the way, people listening to this who've got iPhones, when every time you get a notification while they're listening to this, they'll go to their phone thinking that they've got a text or an email or something.
I'll put that near the mic.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, sorry about that, people. But it is an Apple product, therefore, just by virtue of that, it is fucking annoying. So we're just talking about any offer could come along and you consider it, and so that is how you ended up working for a certain Mr. Adam Ant.
Yeah.
So, Stilly, why don't you tell me and the listeners about this? Because I never tire of hearing this one.
What story do you want to know?
Was that basically, where do you want to start?
That was a funny tour.
Is that what you'd call it, funny?
So you want to know about the...
Well, there's 2 incidents that stand out. Right, one, you ended up in a picture in the Sun newspaper, which obviously we're going to get onto. Already, people listening are like whatever they're doing, they're going, they've just stopped what they're doing. I'm going, hang on, I'm going to fucking sit down for this. What the fuck did he just say? So yeah.
Well, so I cut straight to that story.
Well, you can do, yeah. Well, I mean, why tell it chronologically as it happened. You hooked up with Adam Ant. You went on the road. How long were you going to be on the road for?
Well, it was a UK tour. 2-3 weeks maybe. I can't remember.
How long ago was this?
Not long. It was his first reunion tour. First tour back or whatever. 4 or 5 years ago.
Right.
I can't remember. Anyway. Same thing. Got a phone call from Chris McCormick.
Do I know him? Because you said that like I should know him.
Wild Hearts guitarist.
No, I don't think I do know him.
Okay.
No, I knew one of the Wild Hearts guitarists, but who's the other Wild Hearts guitarist? Not Ginger. Don't say Ginger.
Ginger was in the band.
Yeah.
Was he? What? Not Wild Hearts. His brother was in the Wild Hearts. He was in 3 Colours Red.
Oh, right.
Sorry. Anyway, got a phone call. You want to do Adam Ant? Yeah, I'm not doing anything. Why not? We'll laugh. So, did the tour, which was quite eventful. And anyway, got to London, did the big London show. Adam came on stage, drunk as normal. Walked up to his mic, went to put his foot on the wedge, and didn't see it, and fell in the pit, and took the wedge with him. So
shouldn't laugh, really.
I ran over. I'm just there as a drum tech for 2 drummers in his band. So I'm not really his tech guy or anything. But anyway, I'm stood at the side of the stage, so I see him go in the pit. I run over, jump in the pit. He's sat there, all sort of shocked.
All sorts of shocked.
Well,
like a little animal.
His pirate hat's all twisted. Anyway, pick him up, get him back up on stage, and he's kept fair play to him. He carries on singing, and so I pick up his wedge from the pit and I put it back on the stage, and I'm pushing it into position, you know, getting it central. And he just looks down and sees me, and because of the way he is, he obviously didn't know who I was or what I was doing. So he decided to try and kick me in the face.
So you'd effectively just saved him. You just got him out of the pit, and the next thing that happened was he tried to kick you in the face,
and then spat at me.
Oh, and then spat at you.
Yeah. So,
wow.
But he didn't.
I tell you what, Stilly, you must be some sort of cunt. Either that,
he didn't say a word about it. Whoops.
What? What afterwards?
Well, all gig, I'm stood at the side of the stage where I normally am, you know.
Yeah.
And he's looking at me, giving me the equals. I'm just okay. I'm out of here. This, you know, been fired. That's it. This is my last gig. Did the gig, packed the gear away, went to see the tour manager. So, what's the deal then? What did he say? And he went, "What do you mean?" I said, "What did he say? He fell off the stage. He hurt himself." And he said, "He hasn't said a word." So I was like, "Okay," and that was it. End of story.
What? So you just
got to the next gig and he didn't say a word. But like I say, he didn't know who the people were that were working for him.
Oh right, okay. So you're saying he was in a bit of a haze, maybe?
Well, he's got bipolar, and obviously he's.
No offence to anyone out there who is bipolar, by the way. We love you.
But,
we love you both. Sorry, that's terrible.
But yeah, he's got some problems, and he didn't know what day it was.
But if he's self-medicating with alcohol as well, that can't help the situation.
He wouldn't turn up for sound check. He didn't know if he was going to be there for the gig until like 2 minutes before the gig started. He'd just straighten the gig straight on stage, do the gig, and then he'd go straight away. So he didn't know who was who, you know, which is fine. But then you don't. If someone's trying to help you out, you don't kick him in the face.
No, you don't. Metaphorically, or in fact, you know, physically.
It's on YouTube, apparently.
Is it really? Yeah. And so you ended up in the sun the following day.
Yeah. Well, it was his big, first big London show, you know, and he walked out on stage and fell in the pit. So obviously, it's going to make some sort of headlines.
that's just beautifully summed up the whole event. Well, it's his big London gig. He walked on and fell in the pit.
Basically, that's what he did. Oh, dear.
What a comeback! Had you done many shows with him up to that point?
Yeah, probably quite a few. Yeah, I mean,
was he ever that bad in inverted commas, or was it just like a heavy night?
No, well, like I said, he hadn't fallen over, but he's drunk and whatever, and you can just tell by looking at him in the way he is that he's not in the best what's the word? Don't know. He's you can just tell that he's drunk, and he doesn't know what he's doing. So, but give him his dues when he was on form, because he had a good band with him. When he was on form, it was a good gig. But when he wasn't on form, it was a train wreck basically.
Right.
But yeah, you never saw him. All the band and crew were all on a separate bus. He travelled separately.
That's expensive.
Well, yeah. Well, he was obviously getting good money for it, because we were getting paid good money for it in cash.
I remember that. Yeah. You came to mine. I can't remember why. I probably hooked you up with some weed or something.
Yeah.
And
He
and
paid us for the
yeah,
whole-
I remember you getting out this just big wad of
He
50s.
paid
Hang on, I
everybody.
think you were going to the bank the following day, and you were like, "Oh, I've just been paid."
Yeah.
And it was just, and it
It was
wasn't
all
in,
Scottish 20s.
but it was in, wasn't it? Some wasn't there some 50s in there as well?
Well, it was all
and wasn't
Scottish.
it in some sort of
it all
wasn't
being Scottish.
it in a sort of bag or something?
Yeah. He paid all the crew. I mean, there was me. I was doing the drums. There was me, and there was a guitar tech. There was Rambo, the front of house guy, and who else was there? The t-shirt girl. I think that was it. We didn't have a light guy, but we all got paid in cash for the whole tour on like the third gig or something in Glasgow.
Right.
Didn't have to sign anything.
And you and that was on the third gig.
Yeah.
So you could have all just fucked
So
off.
if he's 3 gigs into a tour and he can pay,
He's generated that much cash.
yeah,
Yeah.
from 3 gigs worth of
Yeah.
gig fee and merch.
A great move from the management, from a morale point of view.
Apparently, he spunked it all up the wall. His tour manager
You
said-
mean he didn't? You mean tell me you didn't invest it wisely on the stock market?
He went-
I am shocked.
I think he bought a car or a bike or something, and he can't, he's not even got a license. As his tour manager was telling me, he buys artwork and stuff, and he's not actually living anywhere. So he's got all these paintings and ornaments and things arriving at hotels and gigs and things that he can't put anywhere because he's not living anywhere.
So when you say he's not living anywhere, is he like in hotels or is he homeless?
Well, no, obviously when he's on tour, he's just in hotels and on the bus, and he didn't even have a bus, but he tried to fire the bus driver for wearing a 9 Inch Nails t-shirt.
Well,
I think there is a connection. I think 9 Inch Nails used an adamant sample or something, and he never got any money for it, so he doesn't like him. So when he saw the bus driver wearing a t-shirt, he fired him. Or tried to fire him. Yeah.
that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
But yeah.
Is he the biggest nutter you've worked with?
I think. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. Even though we never really saw him, but yeah. You wouldn't-
Yeah, just when he was around,
You wouldn't
you
want
knew
to be
about
around
it.
him if he's that bad. But yeah, he's a bit of a nut job.
Yeah, just a bit. But hey, a nut job who pays cash 3 days into the tour is better than a nut job who doesn't.
Well, yeah,
I mean, nut job or not.
he tries to kick you in the face.
And well, yeah, to be fair, you should have got some danger money for that. You know,
Oh dear.
you nearly damaged his boot with your face. You cunt.
Yeah.
Dear me. That's serious. Now, without wanting to be on too much of a downer, and if you don't want to talk about it, say so. But obviously, you and I were talking the other day, and we were talking about what happened in Paris.
Yeah.
And you knew the guy who.
Yeah. The t-shirt guy. Well, you work with Billy Talent, so you might have even met him when you come to gigs. So yeah.
What was his name? I can't.
Nick, Pretty Nick, we
That's
called him,
Pretty Nick.
because he had
Yeah.
a long mane, and he was just a pretty boy,
Yeah.
So yeah,
It was Nick Alexander, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. And you've played the the Bataclan a lot.
I've probably been in there when he's been in there as well, like say doing Billy Talent. But yeah, I've been in there loads of times with different bands. So, so I was like I was saying to you, when I heard about it, I could, and I saw his picture, I could picture him, and I could picture the venue and picture where he was stood, or would have been stood,
Yeah.
And it was it's just awful. It was just gut wrenching. Still is, but
Yeah.
yeah, not seen him for a while, but you meet people, and you don't see him for years, and then you bump into him. We saw I didn't see Nick, but I was with Stereophonics and we were doing a gig in Bristol. We got there the night before, and Eagles of Death Metal were playing in Bristol that night. So we went down. I didn't see Nick, but Nick would have been there. And that was like a week or so before. So
Right.
yeah, it's wrong. It's nasty.
Oh fuck me, yeah. It's yeah. I mean, I listened to it unfold on the radio, and I felt straight away like a kind of connection with it being in a band.
Well, yeah,
and,
even if you don't know the people, just going to a gig and doing.
Oh yeah, I mean something like that is obviously horrendous, but I felt like it, like, wow, that's fucking really hit me where I live, and that's nothing compared to how it must have felt for you, because obviously you knew the guy who the guy was.
It's even affected. I've just been doing the Stereophonics, and we were in production rehearsals for a few days, and we're doing the gig, and to nobody, just in a big rehearsal room, but with everything in there, And so we've got all the lasers and all the effects that they're going to use for the gig. And there was an idea to have one of these T-shirt launchers, where you roll a T-shirt into a ball and stuff it in this gun.
Yeah.
High pressure air gun thing.
Yeah.
This fire. And they were going to do that. Stereophonics were going to do that, which is a great gag, great thing to do at arenas,
Yeah.
And they sort of turned it down because of Kelly didn't want to walk on stage holding a gun.
Well, yeah, I suppose there is. Yeah, there is that, isn't there?
Like,
fuck, right? Yeah.
It's going to freak some people out.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'd really not considered it.
So they didn't do it.
Well, right, okay, yeah.
And I was just thinking, has it got to that?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I was thinking of doing it with some Acid Rain shirts.
Yeah.
Because we've got particular sizes that we've got
bands
fucking
do
shitloads
it,
of.
Bands, I've seen Green Day do it. I think Ozzy Osbourne's done it. And it's a great thing, but now because
just a little bit sensitive, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, I can understand it, but should it affect, it's just people, someone walking out with a T-shirt launcher,
Yeah.
People.
Well,
I thought that was in.
But the thing is, I suppose the other way round. The other way round you can do it is you can actually introduce it and say, right, I'm going to bring a T-shirt launcher on now, and we're going to fire some T-shirts in the air for you. You up for that? Some free T-shirts, and then bring. You see, you see, there I am working. You see,
it was all discussed.
Production manager,
and then it was eventually, they put the kibosh on it, but it was, because of.
I'd have talked him into it.
I mean, I even had to go with it. That was great.
Oh, you bastard! I'll never go on one of those. But if you get us a chance to borrow one, definitely interested in that. Or you can point us in the direction of where to hire one.
I know the company that does them all.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. Seriously, because that's something that we were looking at doing.
Yeah.
Certainly in the future.
All right. Yeah. No problem.
Cool.
Yeah.
Take some motherfucker out in the front row with a fucking T-shirt straight to the face. Been annoying me all night, you bastard.
But yeah, the whole Paris thing is kind of changed everything a little bit, as it should do, really. It's made everyone a bit more wary,
a bit more vigilant.
But it's nasty.
Yeah. So moving on. Obviously, Billy Talent are going to be coming up soon.
Billy Talent got another album coming out next year.
Do you know what? Can you give listeners who like a bit of BT
I think
an update?
They've either finished or they're just finishing recording. So
right,
it's got to be mixed and whatever you do with it.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's already out there, so it's not big news or anything. But they're playing Rock am Ring next year.
Right.
So I'm sure, that'll be either kicking off the start of their tour, or
yeah,
you know,
so
tour or something.
So are you already looking at the gap that you've got between the end of Stereos and the beginning of Billy Talent?
It's not the end of Stereophonics either. That's what I was saying before. There's you get clashes.
Oh, is this potentially a clash coming up then?
Well, that's it. Stereophonics album came out in September, which it wasn't that long ago. So
no, it wasn't.
They've still got stuff to do next year. Don't know what they're doing really. There's a few gigs in the summer, big gigs. Isle of Wight they're doing.
When you say they, you mean you're going to be doing it?
Well, no, Stereophonics are booked to do it. So
will you be working it?
Well, that's it. I don't know. That's
right.
it. That's how it goes. You try to find out as much as you can. But if the band, well, it's not the band, but if the management or whoever is not telling you, we're going to be doing gigs here, and give you dates, then obviously you don't confirm to them.
Yeah.
If they just say, we've got one gig in June and one gig in July next year, are you available? At the moment, I'd say not yet. No,
right.
I'm not, because
you might be away with Billy Talent.
And bands and management know that that's the deal. We're freelance. That's how it works.
And also, is there an element there where you know that Billy Talent it's going to be more work than Stereophonics? Because Stereophonics will be a limited European tour, and that'd be about it. Whereas Billy Talent's going to be like the world.
Well, no, because Stereophonics normally do the world as well. Like I say, their album came out in September, and they've only really done a bit of Europe and the UK. They haven't been to the States yet. They haven't been to Australia, Japan. Still got lots of Europe to do. But what would be good for me would be to find out a start date of the Billy Talent tour, as soon as I can, and then I can say to the Stereophonics, well, you haven't got much, but you can have me until whenever Billy Talent starts. Because then I know, say if Billy Talent said to me, we're going to start in May, then I know that by May next year, Stereophonics will probably be towards the end of their tour cycle. Because the album will have probably been almost a year, so they've not got that much touring to do for that album. So then obviously I can jump onto the Billy Talent thing at the start. But that's the perfect way to do it, but it never really works out that way.
No, instead you end up taking up a couple of weeks with Adam Mann.
Well, that's it.
Just to fill in between. But you end up with great stories and getting kicked in the face, admittedly, but getting paid in cash. So it's the ups and downs. That one gig, really, doesn't it? It sort of shows you the ups and downs of the world of working on the crew.
And what you say, I only took the Stereophonics tour so I could stay over here and do your gig tomorrow.
Yay. Really? That must be true.
Yeah, that's a true story.
True story. True story right there.
But so Billy Talent next year, whoever really. I'd say Skunk Anansie touring in February.
You need to get our dates in your diary as well, which at the moment are
Woodstock.
March 11th, Hammerfest.
Okay.
April the 30th, Saturday, which is Thrashosaurus in Norwich. And August the 13th, Saturday, headlining the Sophie Lancaster stage, are at Bloodstock.
Well, if you want to put me on a retainer, mate.
Retain this, bitch! Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck.
Oh dear.
So we'll put those in your diary, and mark those down as 2 gigs that you won't be getting paid for.
I'll put them in my Stereophonics calendar that I got given the other day.
Oh, the irony, sweet irony. It's kind of it's just sort of chaos looking forward, isn't it? Really. Does it do your head in a bit?
Yeah. Oh, it does now because we've got the wife and kids. you know.
Yeah. Yeah, when it's just you.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it didn't. I'd finish one tour and then probably go up to Newcastle to sleep on your couch for a few weeks, and until my next tour, you know.
God, yeah, that's going back, isn't it?
Mm.
That is going back. Yeah, because you used to come and stay for like, you know, a couple of weeks at a time, didn't you?
Yeah.
Just to break the monotony. Yes, so you came to Strange Thing rehearsals, didn't you? Quite a lot.
Yeah.
And
That's
you
right.
worked with us as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did a few gigs with down at
Fat
Trillions.
Trillions. Yeah, we did Trillions. Did we do Fat Sam's? I think Fat Sam's
Fat Sam's.
We did that.
You did a gig at the Poly or something as well.
Yeah, yeah. But also, didn't we do a gig? Well, we supported Lawnmower Death for a start in Milton Keynes.
That's right.
And we supported the Beyond.
Yeah, in Derby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Derby.
Yeah.
And Neil let Andy use his kit and swap it because Andy was left-handed.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, what a fucking hero!
Yeah.
Actually, I've got to catch up with Neil for the Beyond special I'm going to be doing for early next year.
Is he still with Therapy?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Yeah, well, I've met him. I'll play you the interview because he's got some great stories from back then that we'd forgotten. Do you remember when they played Legends in Harrogate? The fucking nightclub. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. How's that for like a niche gig that you could say I was there? I saw the Beyond in Legends nightclub in Harrogate. And just for I mean, the Legends, you would never imagine a band even playing Legends, would you? I mean, I wasn't aware they had bands on, and it was the only time, because obviously I was a full-on fucking leather jacket wearing motherfucking metal god back
Which
then.
I painted for you.
Which you painted for me, thank you very much. Descendants, I Don't Want to Grow Up, a little DK symbol, and Voivod, if I don't remember.
And
there
Trouble.
You go. And Trouble. Yeah, there you go. That's my childhood summed up in a jacket. And it only took you about 2 years to do it, so thanks, sir. I used to bug the shit out of you about that jacket.
Logo.
Yeah. I'm determined not to lose my train of thought. Where the fuck were we?
Beyond.
Yeah, great.
Legends.
Yes. So playing Legends. Fucking,
I've got
I was a full-on like, you know, anti everything back then, and I never went to Legends, the nightclub. It was the nightclub. I'm talking to you now, listener. It was the nightclub where, like, basically, it was the nightclub in town. That was it. Others used to pop up, but they all just die out. Legends was the one, and a nightclub was the last place I wanted to be. You know, long hair, leather jacket, you know, in a band. Fuck all that shit. And then a couple of years later, I'm rocking up seeing the Beyond play there, and it's still the only time I ever went in that fucking nightclub. I don't even know if I think it's a block of flats now or offices, but yeah, I'm absolutely blown away by it. It was weird.
Stereophonics was staying in Harrogate
Oh really?
last week, yeah, because we did Leeds and Manchester and
All right.
probably Newcastle, so they got a hotel and just drove backwards and forwards every day. They stayed in Harrogate. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, living the rock and roll dream. Does that mean you stayed in Harrogate
No,
too?
I didn't stay in Harrogate.
Where'd you stay?
On the bus.
Oh right, it's a tour bus job, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
I mean,
right.
I
I bet you've been showering most of the day. By the way, listeners, I make reference there because I haven't been here. Stilly's actually been here for a day without me. I just left a set of keys for him because I was away indulging in other things. I was away as usual, you know, entertaining the troops in Syria. I had a couple of gigs, so I didn't come home, and but I'd left the keys with Stilly. So there you go. So this is a genuine sort of catch up now. So this is me and Stilly. I only arrived about an hour previous to starting recording. So what you're listening to is two people just catching up in general. Really, this is the usual kind of sort of bollocks that we talk. Talking bollocks. Hey, see where I got the name for a podcast? Hey.
Brilliant.
It's fucking planned,
Genius.
mate. Yeah, that's right. That's right. As all of my advertisers agree. Ask me how many advertisers I've got.
How many have you got?
None.
Great.
So there you go. Yeah, hitting the heights. To be fair, I haven't tried to get any either, but so I suppose that's what that's the volume of advertisers you should expect if you've done nothing to attract any. So anyway, that and say cunt on every podcast. So there you go, just in case we didn't get round to it, or I might have already anyway. So yeah, it's the Lawnmower Death gig tomorrow. It's going to be your first Acid Rain show.
My last gig of the year.
You are. I would say you were the only person who has ever been to every Acid Rain show, but you actually missed one, didn't you? I mean, not the, I don't mean the new. I don't mean the new lineup. But we
back in there.
But we will come on to the new lineup because we're awesome.
Was it only one?
By the way, yes, I have managed to turn this around to Acid Rain again. Yes, well spotted.
Yes, it was one gig.
Was it one?
Yeah.
You only missed one. Which one was it?
When you spotted Suicidal Tendencies.
Oh my god, I've just remembered, yeah. It's the worst gig you could have missed. Dear listener, Stilly, massive Suicidals fan, right?
Yeah.
Total Suicidal fan.
Yeah.
Only gig you ever missed working with us was supporting Suicidal Tendencies.
Yeah.
At Brixton Academy.
And you came to where I worked. Do you remember? You came to the warehouse where I worked in Wetherby, up from where you used to work.
Right, yeah.
And you came in Zach's white, was it a Capri or something?
Fiesta XRI or something
whatever.
like that, yeah.
And because you came up to pick up something. I can't remember what it was.
Oh.
You drove into my work car park and I gave you something, and then you drove down to London to do the gig. And I couldn't go with you. I remember that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dear me. Hard times, mate, hard times. So, but it's going to be your first gig with the new lineup.
First gig with the new one. Yeah,
and what do you think's what you've seen of the new lineup?
Awesome. Brilliant.
What have you seen of it? Have you seen a whole length show on beautiful crystal clear Blu-ray HD with a digital beautiful stereo soundtrack?
I think I did, yeah.
Yeah.
When you could get it working, yeah.
Yeah, fuck off.
No, that's great. I've seen some of the footage on YouTube and all that. Great response.
Yeah.
Well deserved, though, mate.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But also, you said on the well, it's funny. A lot of people have said that to me. Have said like, well done, and it's deserved. You worked really hard, and all the rest of it. And I kind of always brush it off because I just kind of feel like, yeah, well, we've moved on from that. Do you know what I mean? It's here now, But funnily enough, I think it caught me off guard the other day where I actually it sort of hit me. Whereas like it was, in fact, I was telling my listeners that it was about a week after the tour had finished, and I'd done a comedy gig, and I was driving home, and I drove past the Houses of Parliament and Big Ben, and just as I sat at the traffic lights looking at it, I went, "Fuck me! We've done the Acid Rain tour. It's done. We've actually done it. Fuck me!" It's like, it's just the long winding road.
Yeah.
That started with Kev saying, "Should we do some gigs?"
Yeah.
And I think that was Christmas 2013, but I think it might even be 2012. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, mate. God, no. When did you have the...
Right, hang on. Right, Kev said, let's do some gigs, right?
When did you all meet up in Harrogate?
Well, that's what I'm trying to think. Because what I'm thinking is, right, I saw Kev at the Garage Lawnmower Death gig, and he mentioned doing some gigs, right? Now, by the time we got to the next Christmas, Ramsey had pulled out. Adam had Adam was like still wasn't sure, was going to tell me after Christmas. And I met up with Kev, and it was at the shit, I'm realising how far long ago this is now, you know. That was at the Rescue Rooms in Nottingham. And then the following Christmas, they played...
At the garage?
No, the Camden Underworld.
Oh, right, okay.
And now this is the following Christmas. So, This is 15. Last year was Underworld, 14. Year before that was Rescue Rooms, 13. Year before that was the Garage,
Okay.
12.
Wow.
So it's 3 years this Christmas, and it's kind of like it's all come round in a big circle, because we're about to play with Lawnmower Death at their Christmas show, and this all started with the Christmas show in 2012, and Kev saying, "Should we do some gigs?"
Kev's big idea.
So 3 years, yeah, Kev's big idea, yeah. Well, to be fair, he has managed to stand side stage for an entire gig, which is more than you've managed to fucking do. So you know,
Oh dear.
big up yourself, bruv. Anyway, look, it's
I'm going to be performing tomorrow.
oh, of course you'll be. Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
Whereas Kev didn't perform.
Yeah,
He just stood there
Stilly.
like,
Well, yeah, Kev never performed. Stilly is going to be the Phantom Flanflinger one last time. Tomorrow we are retiring the Phantom Flanflinger. We're retiring the Phantom Flanflinger backdrop, and we're also retiring the Charlie Daniels Band intro, The Devil Went Down to Georgia. It's going to be the last time that Acid Rain ever do any of those three things. So it's not going to be a sad day at all.
So you mean I bought this costume for
just
one
the next,
gig?
It's just the next stage, buddy.
I spent all that
It's the
money
evolution.
on a costume for one gig.
Well, I didn't tell you to buy a costume, did I? You told me you had a gimp outfit in the loft, and I assumed because you live in Germany and you're married to a German woman that you'd naturally have a load of porn gear in the house somewhere. I know what they're like, mate. Remember, I went out with Judith for 2 years. Judith with a German girl. Anyway, look, I think I've let you all in on more than you care to know about me, and I think I could say the same for Stilly. So I'm now going to wrap this up and say the legend that is Stilly Paps, who's been my friend since we were about 15, 16. We've had some hella times together as well, you know, both on the pitch and off the pitch, and yeah, it's been really cool to catch up, and I'm sure everybody will have enjoyed it as well. Thank you very much.
No problem, mate.
Cheers. So there you go. I hope you fucking really enjoyed the adamant stuff. Absolutely cracks me up. But yeah, it's that is an insight. I know we rambled on a bit, and some of it might have been a bit kind of two guys who've known each other a long time just talking about like old times, and but whatever. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you gave you a bit of perspective on certainly on, you know, the music industry and you know, everything else about it. And please do tell people to listen to you know, I've deliberately put the Stilly interview on with the Gary interview because I really did feel that it was worth doing. You know, it was something that people would be really interested to listen to. So there you go. That's the Christmas special out the way on Boxing Day. Hope you've all had a great time. Have a good new year. Look forward to seeing you in 2016. There's already stuff in the can. Really looking forward. I'm back in straight away on the Tuesday and Wednesday of the first week of January. I'm back in interviews both those days. Yeah, got some stuff lined up already for next year, which I know you're going to like. So thanks for listening. Continue to have a great Christmas. Have a cracking new year. See you next year in 2016, bollockers. That's all from me. Ta-ta.